So, imagine for a second, you are a feudal serf on an agri-world in the middle of the 41st millennium, somewhere in the Imperium. You're out chilling in the field, on your 30-second break you get once every year, and suddenly, this dude in some sort of hood walks up to you. He's just a regular old guy, kind of just looks like an old man, except hunched over, that sort of thing. You can't see his face or anything because of the hood. Anyway, he says to you, "Look at me. Look at this chest I have. Do you want to know what is in this chest?" And you say, "Okay, yeah, absolutely." And he goes, "All right. In that case, you have to pledge to me, a loyal servant of the Emperor," wink, wink, nudge, nudge, "your fealty to me." It's okay. I work for the Emperor as well, so you can absolutely do it. So they're like, "All right, yeah, sure." And he goes, "Great, you just signed your soul away." So he opens the box, everything around you gets italicized, you turn into a horse, and suddenly you have to answer that question that everybody keeps asking. Uh-oh, you freaking idiot. You just got Tzeentched. That's right, I am your host, Inquisitor Calliope, and today we are talking about my absolute favorite Chaos God, the Lord of Shenanigans and Dubious Cantankery himself, Master of Change, Chaos God of Hope and several other good things, and also the most evil one out of the bunch, Tzeentch himself. Welcome to Warhammer Explained. As mentioned before, Tzeentch is the Chaos God of Change. Well, mainly change. There are a lot of things that really come with change as a sort of kind of just tacked on, because change really encompasses a lot of things. It's kind of like excess with Slaanesh. It encompasses the hope that things will change for the better, the dread that things will change for the worst, good change, bad change, neutral change somehow, pure chaos, and things going from chaos to order, and then back again. Just like with all of the Chaos Gods, Tzeentch absolutely embodies something that is genuinely positive. I mean, he is the good change in the world. However, this is all balanced out by the fact that Tzeentch himself is maybe the most evil, dastardly, dubious motherfucker in the entirety of the Warhammer 40k universe. Like, genuinely, I would think he's more evil than Erebus. To be a worshipper under Tzeentch is to have your life constantly changing, your body constantly changing, your mind slipping into insanity and then back out of insanity just whenever the hell, and none of this is happening of your volition. Absolutely none of it. With Tzeentch, I honestly genuinely think, I could absolutely be wrong about this, so I mean, you're very welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think any of the other gods really just trick you into being a follower of them. I mean, Nurgle did it with Mortarion, but that is the outlier of all outliers, and it only really happens in 40k. No, Tzeentch really seems like the only case I can think of where the hypothetical I started the episode with can legitimately happen. You can literally just fall one day into a pit of oogity-boogity change snakes, and suddenly you're under Tzeentch's thumb now. Like nothing you could have done could have prevented that. Suddenly on Mr. Bones' wild ride, you want to get off, and you sometimes get off, but then you get right back onto it because everything's constantly changing. As a result, it really just sucks to be a follower of Tzeentch. Even if you chose to be a follower of Tzeentch, it really absolutely sucks, because one day he'll just decide, you're going to fail now. Why is that? You'll never know. And you just have to accept that and continue doing your thing, because your arms are tentacles now and you cannot get out of this hell that you put yourself in. Or did not put yourself in. Or accidentally put yourself in because you talked to a bird guy once and he cast, "I shackle you to Tzeentch now." So of course, when it comes to all of this change like this, it should come as no surprise that Tzeentch is also the god of magic. He controls pretty much all of the magic in the world of Warhammer as a result. And because of this, it should come as no surprise that Tzeentch at one point, he fucking won. Like, he was legitimately the most powerful Chaos God. He was just up on his throne Fortnite dancing on all of the rest of them. This is a fantasy story, I should say. But he was Fortnite dancing up there, doing whipping nay. And eventually, all three of the other gods decided to put all of their differences aside, and my powers combine. I'm going to kill you now. And Tzeentch is like, oh, whoa. Wait, everybody. In solidarity, I will step down, and I will even break my staff for you. And so the other three Chaos Gods actually did. I mean, this is literally what they wanted. So, I mean, they let him do it. They let him break his staff and cast it all over the world, and that became the Shards of Magic, which Tzeentch immediately started trying to collect. With these two little goobers, I absolutely love these guys. These are my favorite characters in all of Tzeentch, except for maybe the Changeling. These guys are called the Blue Scribes, and they go around flying on this specialized disc of Tzeentch, collecting as many of the spells as they can. This guy here at the front writes them all down, but he can't actually read them. And this guy on the back is reading what he writes and is casting it at everybody around them as they're zooming around on their little thingy here. It is the funniest shit ever. And that really just makes up Tzeentch as a whole, actually. Tzeentch is one of the funniest Chaos Gods ever. He literally does stuff because it would be funny. Like I told you at the beginning there, he can just decide that you have crab legs now because it's really fucking funny. And there really is just no other reason for it, that we know of. But even then, it could just be that he finds it funny. Like, for an example, we can move on to another part of his realm, and that is this big-ass maze that is leading up to his palace here. Now, this maze is guarded by two demons. The whole sort of one tells the truth and the other tells lies sort of thing. Not only do you need to navigate the labyrinth itself, you then need to answer the 9, to be exact, questions from the Guardian at the end to get through to the palace. Only one person was ever able to do this. That being some little girl and her little black dog. Now, obviously, to me, this sounds like a bit of a reference to the Wizard of Oz, but a main theory going around is that this kid was actually Tzeentch, and he did all of this just to fuck with the Guardian at the end and make him so self-conscious, because that was what happened. The Guardian became self-conscious that one person was able to get through, and he's just constantly like, I know they cheated somehow. I absolutely know they cheated somehow. As I've said before, this mindset extends to literally all of Tzeentch's followers, and that's honestly why I love him. Tzeentch, and to a lesser extent the higher-ups in his army, is just having such a good time with everything. Nobody else is having a good time, but he's having an absolutely fantastic time. And this sort of jolliness, kind of, even though it is absolutely horrible what Tzeentch is actually doing, just makes for a fantastic palate cleanser in the grim darkness, depressingness of the Warhammer 40k universe. Kind of like the kindness that Nurgle gives, which is why Nurgle is my second favorite Chaos God. But with that being said, that is this introduction to Tzeentch. And that comes to the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell so when you get lost in Tzeentch's labyrinth, at least we can find where you starved. I have been your host, Inquisitor Calliope, and see you next week. Bye!